Hi, my name's Jessica Jean Weston. I am the chef owner of Superfresh Organic Café in Brattleboro, Vermont. We're a 100% plant-based, gluten-free, soy-free restaurant. We serve a menu filled with burgers, fries, nori rolls, salads, soups, fresh pressed juices, smoothies, and so much more. I hope we get to see you soon. I'm also a trained holistic health coach and the author of Healing Tonics, Juices, and Smoothies cookbook. Today, I'm here with you as a part of New England VegFest, where we're gonna make some refreshing summer superfood elixirs. And we're gonna start with one of the easiest of all. Everything we're gonna do today, you can use with very simple ingredients and very easy kitchen equipment that I bet you have at home. So we're gonna start with maple lemonade. So you can ditch the store-bought stuff, save yourself some money, eat something cleaner, and get rid of some of that processed sugar on your table. So we're gonna start by just adding some filtered spring tap water, whatever you've got and whatever you prefer. I have a half-gallon jar here, or you could have a pitcher. I'm just working with what I have in my kitchen. So I already have some filtered water. All I'm gonna do is add a total of 6 cups of water. I like to use filtered or spring water because it's cleaner than general tap water, depending on where you live. And then I'm gonna gently pour in 3/4 of a cup of fresh squeezed lemon juice. You can use store-bought lemon juice. I prefer organic for lemons. Just gonna dump that right in there. And I did run my lemons through a strainer. And then you can play with the sweetener levels based on your personal preference, but I usually do equal parts lemon juice to maple. The recipe is in my cookbook as well. And let's see, but I want to go a little lighter today on the maple, so I'm going to do 2/3 of a cup of maple syrup. You could use another liquid sweetener if you wanted. You could use something like agave. You can make this sugar-free if you want. But maple syrup is the best. All right, I have a seed in here so that I'm trying to avoid from the lemon from dripping in there. All right, so literally that is our lemonade. If you wanna spice this up a little bit, you could, instead of using filtered water, you could make lemon balm tea if you have some lemon balm either on your herb shelf or out in your garden. You could make peppermint tea and you have peppermint lemonade. Just let the tea cool once you steep it and mix it all together. You can put it in the fridge, cool it down, serve it over ice, whatever your preferences are. If you want, you could use this as a base mixer for a cocktail, but I'm actually gonna also show you 3 other fun ways to spice this up. So again, you could have used a tea instead of water. And we're gonna do, let's see, we're gonna pour some lemonade. I've got my friend Matt here with me today. Matt, what kind of lemonade do you want? We've got lavender, raspberry, or berry chia. And then I also do one, if you have ever heard of something called the Master Cleanse, I do one with a pinch of cayenne, and that is used as the Master Cleanse main drink. Or one of my favorite ways to do it is throwing a splash of apple cider vinegar, which is extremely refreshing in the summer. You could even squeeze some ginger juice in there, and basically you would have switchel. So many different ways that you can spice this drink up. The easiest way for me to do lavender lemonade is using food grade essential oil like this doTERRA lavender essential oil. Not all oils are safe for internal use, so just be careful about that. Or you can use a lavender simple syrup, or you can do lavender tea. So I'm just putting in, I don't even want a full, there you go, 1 drop is gonna be more than enough in there. If you ever are trying to get less from your essential oils, again, be careful with what kind of oils you're using. You can dip a toothpick in the center and swirl it in, and you'll get less than 1 drop. And that way you don't have to worry about the oil coming out too fast. So I'm gonna give that a little stir, and that will be our lavender. You could even throw a couple lavender sprigs in there. The next one we're gonna do is gonna have a tiny bit of chia seeds. I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of chia seeds. And these are gonna gel up and kind of have that tapioca effect, but not as big as tapioca balls. And what I like doing with this one in my cookbook, I have a raspberry chia lemonade where I throw in some frozen berries. So I'll grab that in a second. And then we're also gonna do one that has cayenne. Cayenne you can do is really great for your metabolism, among many other things. I'm gonna stir that in there. I just did the tiniest bit, like barely a pinch of cayenne. You can do that to taste. I'm gonna grab the raspberries and we'll keep going. All right, so we've got our lavender lemonade, which you could garnish with some lavender sprigs. I'm gonna throw some ice cubes in there. And I'm also gonna put a couple ice cubes in our cayenne maple lemonade. And then whatever fresh or frozen berries you have on hand, I love just throwing in a little spoonful. These kind of got smushed together as they in the freezer. And that's gonna add a nice little tartness, sweetness. And that's it, lemonade. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So I wanna try the raspberry chia today. I'm feeling kind of berry-licious. And Matt, do you have a preference of which lemonade?
Yeah, can I try that lavender?
Awesome, yeah. If you ever want to spice up your ice cubes, you could go out and pick some edible flowers like dandelions, nasturtiums, and throw them in when you add your water to your ice cube tray. Pretty. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good. Now you know. Next up, we have my Peppermint Choco-Chia Cooler. And this drink I created in the Superfresh kitchen when I really wanted cacao, but it was a really hot summer day, and in the kitchen it was just so hot. So I needed something to help me cool down. And all the mints are really cooling for our body, really calming for our nervous system, but also a little bit energizing and awakening. So I'm gonna start by adding some milk to my blender. Right now I have coconut milk. So I'm gonna do half a cup of coconut milk. And this is a slightly different recipe than what's in my cookbook that I wrote over 4 years ago now. And I've slightly adapted things. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons of cacao, just under a ceremonial dose. I use raw cacao powder. It's unprocessed as opposed to cocoa powder. So that's what you wanna look for when you're going to the store. I'm gonna add in some lucuma, which is a dried fruit powder that comes to us from Peru. We're gonna add in 1 teaspoon of lucuma powder. And this adds just like a really nice, gentle sweetness. We're gonna do a tablespoon of chia seeds. Chia seeds are really great to help with filling our bodies. They are really high in omegas. They are nutrient-dense superfood. So 1 whole tablespoon of chia seeds. They're great for endurance and energy. I'm just gonna do a dash of maple syrup. You could do some soaked dates. You could leave sweetener out if you wanted, or use whatever sweetener of your choice. I just probably did maybe a tablespoon of maple, which is kind of light on the sweet. I'm gonna throw in some peppermint tea. Should I say something that it's hot? I normally let my peppermint tea cool, but when we were shooting this, we forgot. So we're going hot, and then we'll just add some ice to it. And you could always make it hot and then pop it in the fridge. Either way, it's gonna be cooling for your body, even if you're drinking the hot liquid. So we'll just serve it over ice. And we did lucuma, cacao, chia, maple, coconut milk, and peppermint. So we're gonna blend that right up. And if you ever wanted to do something a little more filling, you can add some frozen fruit to it, like a frozen banana or even like a quarter avocado for some creaminess. But I kind of like to go the lighter route so it's not as heavy, and this is a great way to do that. I love the froth that you get from blending milk. So yeah, we've got our Peppermint Choco-Chia Cooler to help lift up your energy, give you some of that good cacao dosage and clean ingredients, and cool your body down on those hot summer days. Last up, we have our watermelon mint fresca, which is an awesome, refreshing summer drink. I, in my cookbook, make it as a juice, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do today. But if you don't have a juicer, you can literally use any blender you have. If you found one on a free pile on the side of the road, at the thrift store, whatever you've got. I use my Vitamix at home, but it does not have to be a high-speed blender at all. So with watermelon, I prefer to take the rind off, but it's okay if you get some of that white. I won't share this recipe today, but you could look up how to make like watermelon pickles. They're actually really delicious. It's a traditional Indian pickle. In my brain, we would cut to an MIA song that talks about mango pickles, even though this is watermelon. So I'm just gonna slice these rinds off. If you leave them on, it's totally fine and won't affect the flavor, but you'll get more of a greenish brown color versus that beautiful red. When I put it in the blender, I usually don't freeze the watermelon first because I often don't think that far enough in advance when I want this drink. So I just chop it up. And then basically all I'm gonna do to go in my juicer is cut it into pieces that are small enough to fit through the hole. I'm using a masticating juicer, my Omega 8006 that I have had since college. So let's see, I'll date myself back. I've had this juicer for close to 12 years and it's awesome. All right, we'll set the rinds to the side just to give us more space. So when we're juicing something, the blender, it wouldn't matter. I just picked some fresh mint from my garden. So if you're deciding to use a juicer today, my recommendation always is to throw things that have less juice, like these greens, in the beginning. That way, when the watermelon and lime that we add go through, they'll push all the goodness of this mint out. Versus if you put this at the end, you might lose some of that mint just to the juicer that you'll never get to enjoy. So I'm gonna turn my juicer on and we'll get this party started. It's haunted. I have a haunted juicer. And then it doesn't matter if I'm gonna keep the lime rinds on my lime. Rinds on my lime. If you don't have fresh limes, you could throw in a splash of lime juice. And then the watermelon. Again, amazing in a blender, such a good smoothie. I'm so happy. Can you smell it? Like through the camera, can you smell it? I refer to this juice as like a watermelon Jolly Rancher, but a little bit elevated with that mint. See how the mint is already, I don't know if you can see the color down there in the juice. I'll show you when we pour it out, but it makes it darker anyways. So that's one of the other reasons I take the rind out. This is gonna be awesome served over ice. You could chill it. You could even freeze this into ice cubes or turn it into popsicles. And if you're feeling like you want to make it a little extra something special, you could add a little sparkling water and or some beverages of choice to make your adult drink dreams come true. There we go. Okay. All right. So we've got our juice, and look, it's mostly juicy, you know, there's not much fiber with the watermelon. So we got almost all of that, which is awesome. Catching my drippage. All right. serve that with ice if you wanted. You know, and if you're feeling fancy, do a little, could throw on a little lime wedge. This is obviously a little bit of an obnoxious garnish, but we're just gonna work with it. Chin chin. Oh my God, it's so good. I love how cooling the mint is, how hydrating and refreshing the watermelon is. It's the perfect summer juice. So now you have 3+ fun new refreshing summer drinks, from maple lemonade to our Peppermint Choco-Chia Cooler and watermelon Mint Fresca. I hope you enjoy these and have fun playing with them. I would love to hear how you mix it up and how you use them. If you loved this and want to learn more, you can check out my recipe blog at jessicajeanweston.com. I also teach online group and private cooking classes, have my cookbook and other ebooks and mini courses available online. And we can't wait to see you at Superfresh Organic Cafe on Main Street in Brattleboro, Vermont. You can find us at superfreshcafe.com. Have an awesome summer.